we'll look that up and just go to the Waking Up in the Brewery page.
That's your bag, baby. Oh, what is that? Oh, cigar rest. Yeah. That's yours? Just why did you become all cigar aficionado?
When I started hanging out with these guys and going to cigar socials. And then winning everything.
Yeah, you won the last time we hung out. This me on.
In fact, I've won all 3 of these.
This too?
Yep.
I won these.
Oh, that's right. That's such a
Wow.
nice color.
That is awesome. Thank you for this. I do need a good lighter. Mine petered out on me last week.
Oh, I hate when things peter out.
Yeah, especially you, Peter.
Especially your Peter. That's the one. Till I get us a logo, we'll get something else put up there. But
Yeah, and there's a little delay, so we'll turn the volume.
which is fine. Yep.
Yeah.
Which is fine. That way you can also monitor comments if anybody does jump in and makes comments. I did make an announcement on Waking Up in the Brewery. Again, yes, Waking Up in the Brewery. We're live doing a new show. This is not the normal faces you have seen
Normal's
before.
correct.
Huh?
Not normal is correct.
Yeah, not normal at all. And also not the regular faces you see on Waking Up in the Brewery. We're actually doing a new show. This will be a monthly show. We're going to do a cigar social and try out, hopefully encourage other places to also do cigar socials. But we're doing this one at Ebony and Ivory, as you can see in the background. And I'm your regular host. And then we brought my friend Garrett back. He's been on a few of the Waking Up in the Brewery episodes, and he was also with me on a gentleman's gathering, which, exciting news, I think we're starting that back up before too long. So,
I'm super stoked about.
yeah. You guys want to introduce your names and what you're drinking for the audience?
Sure.
I'm
And then we
Doug.
can also talk about
Yeah.
our cigars.
I'm Doug, and I'm drinking a Country Boy Shotgun Wedding. Enjoy that one.
I'm Eric. I'm drinking Highland Gaelic Ale
Nice.
out of Asheville.
Classics.
Yeah.
I skipped over Garrett. So go ahead, Garrett.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
So I am drinking the. Well, what is it called?
Mint condition.
Mint condition. Thank
condition.
you. It tastes very good. It's like a mint julep or like a what's that?
Mojito.
Mojito. Yeah. Very good.
Now, both of the beers that me and Garrett are drinking are actually made by E&I. You guys are just drinking whatever over there,
Yeah.
which is fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine.
Just the pairing.
Still supporting local business because they're still selling it. I am drinking a strawberry margarita beer. Seltzer.
Yeah,
Seltzer. There's no grain in that, so. But it tastes
It's
like
tasty.
a strawberry
Tastes like its name.
strawberry
Yeah, it does.
margarita. Yeah.
It does. It's very good.
And we decided to start doing this. Actually, me and Doug and Eric were talking at many cigar socials about let's get together and drink beer and smoke cigars, and I think we're good.
Everybody
I stole
cut?
theirs inside. I need to
Alright.
give that back to them. But
Give it back.
I am barely into cigars. All 3 of our other hosts, current hosts today, are actually big cigar aficionados. They are daily smokers, weekly smokers, hourly
I want to
smokers.
say daily. but
Weekly.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Weekly
Maybe.
for sure.
He's like-
Weekly for sure.
Yeah.
Like, don't put that out there yet until I actually measure.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to think about it.
And on those days, it may be multiple cigars.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Which then would turn out to be a daily thing. If
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
true.
it might
That's
average
true.
out to
If
be
you do
daily.
the math.
Oh, I didn't. I'm glad I brought that other one because that torch is empty. I got it. This one. Thank you, though.
Oh yeah, he
I also got a new one.
He got the Barbie.
Oh, that's right.
I got this one. This one is my crime fighting lighter.
Yeah.
I can knock people out and then set them on fire. This thing is
And look
heavy.
very stylish and
And
pretty
look
while
stylish
doing
while
it.
doing it, yes.
You might be able to weld with it.
Maybe.
Can at least braise.
Braise. Yeah.
Proud of you. Look at you. Burning the edges a little bit. That's good.
Oh yeah.
I've gotten a lot better.
You got to toast it.
Yeah. No, he's like come so far.
You lighter?
Yes, please. Slash weapon.
It is a hefty thing. I also got a new one. The
Hard
last
to-
time I
hard to
won that
lose, though.
little long single torch. I didn't bring it with me.
Oh yeah.
Both of these
Oh,
are,
that's right.
are
Yeah,
three
yeah,
torches.
pencil.
It looked like a
Yeah,
pen.
it looks.
Look like
It
a
will
pen.
fit right into a cigar case.
Oh yeah.
I think it's even designed to do that. I am smoking La Roma de Cuba. It was one of the ones from our other cigar socials. So
Okay.
that's what I'm smoking today.
Seed to Smoke. Never even heard of it. Not one I've ever heard of. But they sell it here at Ebony and Ivory, and it's a good. It's
What's
like.
that Rocky Patel?
Oh, it is. There it
Yeah,
is.
I was
Okay,
gonna
cool,
say.
cool. I didn't even see it. Rocky Patel. That I have heard of. Awesome. Okay, but I've never tried this. It's nice.
But yet, what? They got 3 different cigars you can choose from in there. Different sizes and smoke, so variety. Do you guys have a favorite cigar you like to go with, or are you smoking your favorite right
We
now?
have several that we
Several
kind of keep in the
favorites.
rotation, sort of say. You know, we try different things, but there's several that we'll come back to or try to keep on hand, you know, as far as an everyday one kind of thing. So one of our, well, that's one that you like,
Yeah,
you know, the Rocky Patel and stuff like that.
If I had to make a list of an everyday cigar, this would be in the top 3.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I've smoked a lot of these. It's a Rocky Patel Sumatra Edge.
Sumatra Edge.
They have a whole series,
It's-
the Edge series. This is the Sumatra. They have a Maduro, a Corojo. I believe there's even some others. But this
They
is
got
a Sumatra.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
They have a Connecticut.
Yes, they do.
They did,
Yes,
yes.
they do.
I like a Maduro.
That's
Generally,
what
that
we-
would probably be my pick.
Yeah, so we usually tend to smoke the Maduros more because it's a little bit heavier tobacco.
Yeah.
You know, you tip out of this one. But yeah, like, so one of our, so the oddities, one of the ones is probably the leaf Boston. That's one of our go-tos. that we
Yes.
like a lot, so. It actually comes wrapped in a tobacco leaf. The actual, have you seen it before?
Yes, I
You've
have.
taken it?
Yeah.
Oh, so you have to take the
So yeah,
leaf
it's actually
wrapper
wrapped
off.
in a
and-
leaf with tobacco.
Yeah, instead of being in cellophane
Yeah,
or
it's in the leaf.
paper,
wrap.
it's
That's
actually in a
pretty cool.
tobacco
Yeah.
leaf.
That moisture will.
And I've
will-
actually seen hardcore guys just smoke it
with the leaf
with
on
the
it.
leaf on
Yes,
Oh, God.
yes.
it.
I haven't seen
Well,
that.
I've heard guys of saving that and smoking it in their pipes
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Oh yeah, grind it up.
Yeah,
real
that
good and-
too.
Grind it
but-
up and smoke it in their pipe.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
And they
Yeah.
do. And they do. Look
And
at
they
you.
do.
Look at you. That's a little hardcore for me.
Yeah.
Smoking it right out of the leaf. I don't know if I was prepared for that. I mean, but
Yeah.
Not yet. You haven't done it
I
yet.
haven't done it. I'm a little afraid
They,
to.
they make what 2 or 3 different varieties in that. They've got the Maduro,
Yeah, they've
and
got a Maduro, a Sumatra,
Yeah.
a Corojo.
Oh,
There's even a Connecticut too, isn't there? I keep going back to that.
Yes, I
But
think
it seems
there
like I'm
is.
just thinking of what I see.
It's another good cigar.
But
We
they're
won't
kind of
talk about that till maybe
kinda-
we'll smoke those one night.
Absolutely.
Talk in depth on those.
Yeah.
but they're interesting because you bring those out and people are like,
what
it's
is
just
what is
different,
that?
you know, it's something different.
It looks like it's in a like an alien pouch almost. It's like because it's big and
And
it's,
they fold it back over.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot
It's kinda
people
unique.
cigar, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah. So again, a big shout out to Ebony and Ivory. You have time. The cigar social starts at 6 and runs until 9 o'clock. So if you guys want to come out, smoke a cigar, they're ready for you to be here. They've got cigars for you to buy, beers for you to buy, or you can bring your own smokes and hang out with people. And the
Bring your
cigar
own
social is
smokes,
always
don't bring
fun.
your own beer.
Correct.
Yes.
Do not bring your own.
Don't bring your own beer.
Do not bring your own beverages at all unless it's soda.
They frown on that.
Yeah.
It's frowned upon.
Yeah, it's frowned upon. It's not illegal. Well, actually, it's illegal.
Yes, yes.
Yes, it is.
It's
Absolutely illegal.
Absolutely illegal. But yeah, come out and enjoy some cigars and give Ebony and Ivory some business because that's what we're going to do. We lost our last cigar social.
Which one?
Elst.
It's gone?
So yeah,
no.
you don't know about
I
this.
don't know about this.
Those in the know. Elst has been bought out by the owners that own Stock and Barrel and Chivo and stuff like that, and they have bought that. Now they're going to keep all the beers there, so you will still be able to get Elst beers. They're keeping on their brewery team. They're keeping on their staff as much of them that wants to stay.
Just be rebranded.
It's going to be rebranded. It'll then be called the Black Dog. It's a harken back to the nightclub that was in there in the 70s. It was called the Black Poodle. And so they're going to basically consolidate a lot of food from a lot of their other restaurants and do it there. They're going to have the Chivo food truck out back in the midterm until that actually happens, and then they'll have a good food serving, which I think will be great for the community. It's going to pull a lot of traffic, I think, having a food destination. That's one thing that we don't really have on this end of town.
This is true.
I mean, we've got what? Hard Knocks Pizza and Steamboat.
And what is it? Rosa's? Is it Rosa's Pizza? What's the other pizza?
Oh,
place?
yeah.
Nora.
You know,
Torria
yeah,
Nora.
Yeah, I never have had that because they're either not open or
Yeah.
like
they're-
there's
Well,
weird
you gotta forget about
hours.
it
And,
too,
yeah.
because it's like they're off to the side, and you
I don't know what they're making over there, but
I think they're only open a couple of evenings
Yeah.
a week,
So it's
like Friday
Yeah.
and Saturday or
I
something.
mean, I was laughing because me and Kayla went out to Elst for Pie Day because Elst made 4 pie beers, right? On March 14th, just pie. And usually on that, a lot of pizzerias do a pie special.
yeah.
And I think you could get a Hard Knocks pizza, medium Hard Knocks pizza for $3.14. So needless to say, they were getting
Yeah,
just slammed. Well, Kayla ordered online, and to walk here, you have to walk by Pizza Nora.
Yeah, more
There was
Yes.
nobody there.
Yeah.
Well, they might not even been open.
No, he was there
Oh, he
out
was there.
front washing his car.
Oh.
But there was no
Nobody
customers. I don't guess he was running any specials or anything like that. But I was like, well, that's not going to help you. But rumor has it he doesn't need the money. He's doing it because it's fun or whatever. But
He enjoys it. Yeah.
the
Great-
good news
great
is
if
I
you
got
do
to
that.
walk down
Yeah,
here
good for
and
him.
have a different beer than
Oh,
I was
yeah.
having at L's. So I had a beer while I was waiting on pizza
There you
because
go.
you were going to wait on the pizza. So,
Yeah, with that much going on that day.
but I think this area has so much potential. We just don't have the things to draw down here. I think the Black Dog could be something good for both E&I and
Well,
Fanatic
they
and
feed off each other
Hexagon.
too. The more stuff you have come down here, then the more people will say, "Well, I want to see that too, and I want to
Yeah.
go
Yep.
there, and I want to do that." So
Yep.
you-
bar
You-
crawl
yeah,
kind of
because if you got one thing to draw them in, and they see other stuff while they're here, they're like, "Well, next time we'll go here. And next
Yes.
time we'll do this." So,
and that's just something that hasn't been down here. We've got
yeah,
3 breweries you could walk to, but nothing really that pulls anybody here unless you're going to that brewery.
right.
And the problem with that is just a mile that way, you've got all the breweries.
Yeah, they're all there, right on top of it. Yeah, yeah.
So do you think that maybe going forward, after they kind of get established, that you would be able to do another cigar social there?
It's a possibility.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a
I
good
mean,
venue.
They were at the last one. The owners were
The
at the
new
last
owners were at the last
Yeah.
social, so
And they may see the turnout and say, "We need to be doing something like this too," or
Or-
continue.
Well,
yeah,
okay.
they may say we need to continue
Yeah,
doing this.
I mean, there was a ton of. Every time I went about 3 or 4 times, and every time they were pretty busy.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, for a,
yeah.
Thursday night.
I mean, what else do you do on a Thursday night?
That's
You
kinda
know,
what it
because
is.
it's kind of like
it's a draw.
there was something there.
Yep.
So
And I think a lot of those cigar people will end up coming over here tonight,
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
especially if they know it. They
Yeah.
definitely got to do a little better advertising on the cigar socials. In general, most most breweries aren't great at advertising.
Yeah.
They're really not in that marketing field. They make beer, and they know how to make beer, and that's what they'll do. And they might have some business knowledge, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of breweries that don't, which is why. And I'm not saying that's why all breweries close. There's a lot of different reasons for breweries closing, but a lot of times it's people not knowing how to manage their business. They know how to make beer. We're going to make beer and we're going to sell it, and that's the idea. And then they start making beer and they start selling it, and that's all great. But then they don't know how to handle the finances. They don't know how to handle the marketing, and then if they don't get up and running quick enough, they also don't have the money to hire people to do that for them. So that again falls on them. And most brewery owners, at least in the early stages, they're all working a second job. That's part of the reason why this place and many others don't open until 3 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, is because there's nobody there to work.
Yeah.
They're the ones working it to keep the
Absolutely.
hours down, and they've got their second job. So, or actually their first job.
I
should
think
say.
that rings true for any small business,
Yeah.
starting out. I think it's always a kind of a hands-on.
Yeah.
You're
it, yeah.
You're it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you've got to figure all of that out
Yeah.
immediately, or have somebody that knows about it.
Yeah.
But honestly, a lot of businesses get hurt by mismanagement of funds specifically.
This is true. Yeah.
Yeah. I always tell people, if you're going to start a business, you better know an accountant or be an
Or
accountant.
be one.
Because you don't want that catching up to you.
Yeah.
You don't want your accounting to get messed
That's
up to
work
where
in its own. I mean, just
It-
that aspect of the business.
Yeah.
It's a job in itself.
yeah.
Just keep it up there.
Well, and I've even talked to some of the more successful breweries, and they say not only do you want to have an accountant with you, but you also need to have twice as much money as it's going to take to open the brewery.
Yes.
So if it costs you $50,000 to open your brewery, you better have $100,000,
Yeah.
because all the crazy stuff that happens that you're never ready for.
Well, it's all
It's
stuff
always
you
gonna
don't-
happen.
You didn't. Yeah, something's going to break. Something's not going to. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I didn't,
Murphy's
If you
Law,
blow all
man.
your money just to get open,
Then
and
you
you
got
got no
nothing.
money to run on or operate on, you're going to fold pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've seen it happen firsthand. I mean, breweries will go in there, okay, we've got this brewery and we've been brewing in here, but then they go, okay, well, now we're going to make it into a tap room. Okay, so we're actually going to sell beer in the tap room versus just distributing it. And then when they have to do the build out for the building for commercial use and customers, there's a whole bunch more red tape that you got to go through. The doors have to be measured a certain way. The entrance has to swing a certain way. Everything has to be a certain way before they get it approved. And if you don't know that, then you spend all this time trying to get your brewery open. And that's why you see a lot of these breweries that they've announced it, but then it's like a year later.
When are you open?
Yeah.
Yeah. we know
And that's
that.
usually what it is something has caught up to them in the building process that they had no idea was coming.
Or
You're
you
allowed to
can't get
brew in it.
something. Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Geezer's coming to mind.
Have you guys been to Alchemy yet?
Mm-mm.
No.
Another great business here in Knoxville. It's in the old city, just down from Pretentious Beer, and it is a cigar bar, and it's pretty classy. It's small, but it is classy. They also have their own walk-in humidor there, so they have a couple of tobacconists that work there.
Is that what's his name's joint?
I actually don't think anybody knows the owner in the industry. Like I've met him a couple of times. They've got a couple of owners there, and they're always there working, by the way.
Yeah.
But it's not anybody
Nobody big.
that we've
I don't think they
been
were
within the
local,
industry.
right? I
Huh?
don't think they were local to begin with, were they?
I'd never heard of it.
I was thinking they were.
I don't know. I mean, I guess he lives local now because
Yeah.
they're always there. But
I think to begin with, they kind of relocated to this area.
but they have a great selection of cigars. They know their cigars. Me and Kayla went out there for a date night, and they've got a great bar. They've got canned beers in there, but mostly it's cocktails.
Yeah.
I had a mezcal old fashioned, right up your alley.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, it was good. But Kayla, she didn't like she doesn't like martinis in general. She doesn't like gin. She barely likes vodka. But they had an espresso martini, and they make their own espresso there. It's not a flavoring. They actually make the espresso for their espresso martini. And so we would go back there. She's like, I already know I'm going to want that. But we go back to talk to the tobacconist, and we tell him Kayla normally smokes like a Black and Mild or a Swisher Sweet or something like that. But she's really interested in that espresso martini, and he pulled up this little missile cigar, tiny little thing. I mean, it was that long and it tapered to the point. And it's called the Angry Alice, and it has chocolate and vanilla notes in it, and that paired perfectly with that espresso martini. And she was in love. She still says that's the best mixed drink she's ever had.
Oh yeah.
Of any mixed drink, and she generally wouldn't go for that. But
Most cigar shops that have clubs, so forth, always have a coffee machine.
yeah,
Because coffee goes good with cigars.
yep. So does bourbon.
Yeah. That's why beers with coffee go exceptionally well with cigars.
Yeah. Is that why you went for a darker beer?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Dark beers
I mean,
and cigars.
I like browns and
Like I
dark
say,
beers
it's
anyway.
the pairing.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Peanut butter and jelly, man.
And cigars are a lot like beer. You know, you could go with a Connecticut, a lighter, and then go with a light beer or a lager or something
Mhm.
like that, and it would pair well with that. Your darker cigars are going to pair better with darker beers.
Right. Is there a cigar you would recommend for a first-time smoker?
Really, with
First time,
pick
Yeah.
something generally light.
like
Yeah.
never smoked before.
Never smoked anything before,
Black
but
and
never
mild.
smoked
No.
a cigar. Like they're new to the cigar smoking.
Probably a Connecticut.
Yeah.
Something like
Those
that,
tend to
lighter.
be milder.
But yeah, I was like, we get quizzed all the time. People say, "Well, what should I smoke?" And it's like, there's no correct answer.
No.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just
Smoke
like
what you
beer.
like.
It's
It's all personal
Yeah,
preference.
smoke what you like. You know, you'll if you're starting out, you're going to find, well, I like this one, I don't like that one. Then you say, well, what was it I liked about it? Then you try to steer yourself toward that direction as far as compatible cigars.
Right.
But that's what we get that all the time. People saying, well, what should I smoke? I was like,
Yeah.
I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah.
And I'll smoke stuff I've never smoked before, just to see if I
try it.
will
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it.
yeah.
You know, because
You see the profile of it, you think that looks interesting.
that looks like something I might
Yeah.
enjoy, and
And you don't know
sometimes
till
you're
you
way
try it.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but most times,
Yeah.
I
If you-
enjoy
if you
what I
match
smoke.
yourself
Yeah.
and say, this
Yeah.
is what I like, and that's that style of cigar or whatever you want to say.
I
but it's
think
probably gonna
when
be
I was
like-
starting out, every time I went to the cigar shop,
I got something
I got
different.
something different.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
So
that's
And I
the same
did,
thing with
and I
beer.
started compiling my list, and it's
Yeah.
like, hey, I like that. So next time I went back, I bought another one of those, and then I got something else
Something else.
different, that I'd never had before.
When
So
I
that
first-
way you at least have one that you know
Exactly.
you like.
And
then there's
actually,
something
that's
else to
how I
try.
got
Yeah.
hooked on these. I kept coming back to this, and I try to get 2 or 3 of these, and then get 2 or 3 of something else I'd never had.
Yeah.
And I kept coming back. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's just a good stick.
Yeah.
And
that one
around.
that's
When I
why
first-
I said if I had to pick an everyday cigar, this would be one of them.
Yeah. When I first started, I signed up for one of those cigar sampler monthly samplers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you pay $50 a month, and they're not great, high-end cigars, but it's still a good way to try out different
Yeah.
types and different
Yeah.
strengths. And when people ask me, well, how do you know what you like? That's what I tell them. Go get you one of those sample
And
bags.
your taste will change.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
well, because the older you get, the more your taste buds die.
Yeah, well, the
So-
thing about it too is like, you start out, just like beer, what we all start, when I started drinking, there wasn't that many choices.
High life.
Right.
So, you was like, you went to the convenience store and it's like, which one of these 3 do you want?
All right.
Yeah.
So, but then, then all
Yeah, craft beer wasn't a thing.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Well,
it's
it
all
was.
craft.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, technically, yes.
Yeah.
It's all being crafted, but it wasn't the art. I mean,
It wasn't like today.
you remember the women were making it for you out in the fields back in Mesopotamia. That's how
Yeah.
old Doug is.
Yeah,
so.
well,
I was the emperor.
That was low.
you had 3 kinds of stuff, like he said. You had light beer, heavy beer, and Mad Dog 2020, and malt liquor.
Well, that was here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're over in Germany or
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
overseas,
yeah.
then
Yeah.
But
Sky's the
us
limit.
growing
they still
up,
had the good
But
stuff over there.
even honestly, even when we were all younger, West Coast was doing craft beer. You had Anchor Steam and beers coming out, and there was a lot of those
But
craft
yeah,
breweries that
when
pioneered
you
it.
traveled out there, you could drink it, but it wasn't really readily
Yeah, it's
available here.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
And that's still
Yeah.
the same about craft beer. It's in most of these Knoxville breweries, you're not getting those beers outside of Knoxville. You get Fanatic maybe out of Knoxville.
Yeah,
you might
correct.
get Zool out of outside of Knoxville.
Yeah. Schultz Bra.
Schultz Bra.
Maybe. maybe
Maybe
Schultz
outside
Bra.
of Knoxville.
Maybe, yeah.
I see it in
Zool
stores.
went to Blount County. I had a peanut butter and jelly for the first time. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's
"My
true.
God."
They're doing distribution way out
Yeah.
now. So, but again, we are just now getting Burial, and they're
Just right over the hill.
literally right over the hill,
Yeah.
and we're just now getting it in Knoxville, and that was all because of tax and
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's great.
transportation and stuff like that. But craft beer, there's a lot of people saying craft beer is dying. I think that's more of West Coast is a lot of those breweries. There's a health craze going that is pushing towards non-alcoholic stuff like that, and so that is diminished, especially on the West Coast because they're health nuts on that side. Whereas we still like to drink and smoke and do whatever it is we want to do on this side,
Well, that's why we exercise, so we can drink it.
right?
Well,
That's my
literally
logic.
pint curls.
Every
Yeah.
time I exercise, I'm
That's
lifting
it.
the cigar
That's
glass
it.
to my mouth. I
That's
think
it.
you're going to see a lot of the infused beers going forward too, with the like we was
THC, yeah.
They're pushing that real heavy. I've seen a lot of advertisements for that.
Yeah.
I tried it. I'm not a fan because I don't want to be high and drunk. I kind of want to pick my poison, you know.
Yeah.
What I mean?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't had theirs. I did have one from another brewery, and I wasn't really a fan of it. It made me feel
Weird.
kind of what you were saying. It almost is a fuzzy headedness, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
foggy or whatever.
It's
It
almost
just-
like they're competing with each other to me.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
What are you doing inside my
Yeah.
head?
yeah, it's like, man, I feel great. No, I'm paranoid. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm drunk. No. I'm
No, I'm not. They're coming to get me. Wait, I'm feeling real good. I should drive. No, I shouldn't. It's like, and then all of a sudden you realize,
Am I driving right
I'm
now?
a schizophrenic because I am talking to myself and everybody's looking at me crazy. Thanks a lot, THC beer.
Well, I mean, you can't blame all of that on THC.
No,
you do
no.
that on your own sometimes too.
Well, that's why I'm medicated.
Yeah. Why do you guys think that we don't have more smoking lounges? We have a lot of turnout at these cigar socials, and I'm just surprised that we just now got our first real smoking lounge.
I think smoking as a whole has diminished greatly.
Stigma.
Yep.
Yes.
Archaic almost.
Correct.
Mhm.
Correct. Now cigars are different than smoking cigarettes.
Yep.
Absolutely. Well, it's
All
a-
that type stuff. and-
A lot of people don't realize that either.
Correct.
They
You know,
might just
we're smoking
stigma.
unprocessed tobacco, basically.
Correct.
Right.
Straight out of the field, dried,
And-
rolled, and smoked.
Yeah.
And the difference in this versus smoking cigarettes is you're also not inhaling.
Well,
the
you're
smoke.
not inhaling.
And
So this
that's
is
one
the
thing I
method.
like watching
It's
first
method.
timers.
And that's not
Don't
true for all
don't-
cigar smokers. I know some cigar smokers
They just
that
take
do,
it in and
that-
hold it in.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do take it in. You
Well,
know,
thank you.
more power
Yeah.
to them if
Yeah.
that's what they want to do.
I like
but,
the taste. I don't want to cough all night.
But to get the flavor and the nicotine
Yeah.
and everything out of the cigar, you don't have to inhale it.
Yeah.
You don't.
So
And it's a different kind of, like, people will smoke cigarettes and get a nicotine high, but it's a different feel when you smoke a cigar.
Correct.
100%.
Well, I will tell you, the first time I ever smoked a cigar, not
I was
black
there
and
for that.
mild. I will tell you, I smoked it so fast that I did get a buzz off
He
of
stood
it.
up from the table
well,
and he kind of teetered.
And it was like,
and that's not uncommon starting
it's
out.
not.
And you'll know,
yeah,
you start smoking Connecticut's, you're like, these are great. And then all of a sudden, yeah, I love cigars. And guy hands you a Maduro. And the next thing you know, it's like, whoa.
And you stand up.
yeah.
Yeah.
My head's
It's like the
My
first time I
head's
had
spinning.
moonshine.
Yeah.
You think you're fine,
Yeah.
you stand up,
Tastes
all
good.
all changes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
especially a blackberry moonshine, was it?
Why blueberry?
Blueberry,
Why you
yeah.
got to bring up old shit? Well,
Because I'm practically your wife.
yes, you are.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, he's good for that, man. You remember that time that you made an ass of yourself? You remember that?
You're not from around
I'm
here.
trying
are
to
you?
No.
forget.
No, I'm from North Knoxville. Very north.
No, you're not. I am.
I'm pretty sure you walked here.
Yeah.
I could.
I mean, I was standing out there and I didn't see you pull up in a car, and you're just walking across the
Next
parking
door
lot. And I
over
was
there.
like, did he walk here?
Well, we drive, I won't say big trucks, but, pickup trucks. And you get in these little parking lots. And
Yep.
it's
We take
difficult.
up a lot of
so-
room.
And your Austin Power, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Trying to get through the alley.
18-point
Yeah.
Yep.
parking spot job.
So it's
I-
just easier.
I wish there was more smoking. I used to be a member of Smokey's Cigar Club,
Yeah.
but their prices got kind of ridiculous. But it's nice. You walked in, you had a little code, you punched in the door. They have big club chairs in there. They had a bar in there. They had TVs all over the place. And I wish there were more stuff like that for
I was a member at Smokey's.
Were ya?
And
What-
prior to that, I was a member with, and they're out of business now, but it was Silo Cigars.
Mm.
And yeah.
What would you guys think about craft cigar? Like, you got local people making beers. What if you had more local people making cigars?
We got some of that in Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. There's some of that going up in there. But
It's just like you said. It's almost like beer.
yeah,
One of our favorite cigar brands is not Crowned Heads. Yeah,
so many.
Crowned Heads.
Yeah.
What is it?
Crowned Heads
Crowned
is the name of
Heads.
the company, and they're based out of Nashville.
Okay.
They make some tremendous cigars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the
Matter of fact, we'll have to
process
smoke
more
one. I
difficult?
won't name it until we have it.
Yeah.
But,
Is it more difficult than crafting beer? I would guess it's
Well,
You have to
more
have a dedicated
time
field,
consuming. But
dedicated-
yeah, I mean,
yeah, and it's like you pick your hops and your grains and all
Yeah.
that,
Same
and
with
you
the-
have, okay, well, for this beer, I've got to have this grain or
Yep.
that grain. No, I can't use that. I got to have that.
Yep.
It's
or even the
it's the
yeast
recipe,
or everything else.
It's
the
the
yeast is going to
recipe.
create that.
There's
Okay.
a recipe for that cigar.
Okay.
Yeah. And not only from a tobacco standpoint, but where that tobacco was grown
and in
has a lot to
conditions.
do with it as well.
Some places you can grow better tobacco or different tobacco than you could somewhere.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
growing up, I lived in Greenback, and all the kids in the neighborhood would get kind of farmed out to all the other farms for whatever work was being done. Whether we were cutting tobacco, whether we were hauling hay, or whether we were helping somebody with their garden, whatever that was, we all kind of got to go do that. And I mean, I know the whole process of growing, cutting, stacking,
Yeah.
hanging,
Yep.
and then grading after
Hanging
it's
and
done.
drying and
Yeah, you got to do all the dry, and then you come out, and then you got to grade the leaves off and stuff, and you have several different piles based on the grade of the leaf at that time of harvest. But I never once saw what happened to that tobacco after that point.
After it was
right
sold
there.
off.
This is what it looks like right there.
Yeah,
This
but-
is the end product right there.
But I mean,
How did it get there?
It's exact
Exactly.
in Greenback. That's what I want to know is
Yeah.
how they got their tobacco from Greenback into a cigar, or somebody here locally. Were they shipping it to Nashville to be made? What happens to it after that is
Well,
always
most-
what I wanted to know.
Most
But
domestic
Domestic stuff is cigarettes.
is cigarettes,
Yep.
chewing
Yeah.
tobacco, snuff, things of that nature.
yeah,
You won't see a lot of tobacco in cigars that's grown in the States.
Mhm, that mostly
that just doesn't
not enough
happen.
moisture,
Dominican
not enough
Republic.
humidity.
Well, just
like I know a lot you get in
quality
Ecuador,
and-
Yeah.
yeah,
style.
yeah.
Ecuador, Argentina,
Argentina,
Uh,
DR.
Cuba. Well, Cuba's cigar game has changed tremendously as well.
Well, that's because everybody's kind of caught up with it.
Well,
Yeah.
there's that, and
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
and the government also took control over it. And
Well, and that-
I can talk on days about how nothing is ever made better by the government.
Except for maybe the cigar game.
Not even that. No, they socialized it. So
Yeah, they
now
did.
your job is to give all your work to the government, and then the government sells it. And then it just started getting that the quality of it. The
It didn't
Cuban
matter.
was known as, hey, this is a serious cigar. You're not playing around when you get a Cuban. But now a Cuban it's not even that it's,
More to his point, what he was saying,
It's
where we
just
caught up,
bad quality
they caught up
now.
with it.
Yeah.
I could smoke a one from the Dominican Republic, and it could be just as good as a Cuban.
that's-
cigar.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
I've-
and go ahead.
but they
I've
don't have
smoked-
that
I've smoked
reputation.
a lot of
unfortunately.
Cubans, and
It's-
I've got some Cubans.
Yeah.
but yeah.
But the quality
Prior
has
to
went
having
down.
One,
Yes,
I was like, I've had better,
absolutely.
and it didn't come from Cuba.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
it's
I
kind of
think
like a
number one right now, number one exporter of cigars is Argentina
Argentina.
now. I think is what I had read. But
I read that too. You're right. I've smoked a Cuban and all the hype, and I've smoked lots of Cubans, probably like you.
I didn't dislike it. You guys
No,
gave me one, and I was
didn't
like,
dislike
yeah,
it
it's
either,
solid.
but
But it
it's
just
like-
didn't,
it
it's
doesn't-
the greatest one I've
Oh,
ever
it
had.
doesn't-
Oh, it's
It's
good. Don't get me
yeah.
wrong.
good. But it's
And-
just not heads or tails above
Yeah,
everything.
No, it's not.
No,
You can
it's
get a
not.
cheaper cigar in the States, and it be just as good, if not
Absolutely.
better, than a Cuban.
Yeah.
And
Now-
I have.
Now, something else that's different about cigars and cigarettes is the lighting process. There's an art to lighting a cigar versus you just hold a cigarette up and you're gone, right? You can light it on your stove. You can light it with a candle lighter. Like, it doesn't matter. Just a flame, and you light your cigarette.
Just need an ignition point.
Lighting a cigar with some, I can't imagine lighting one without an actual torch.
Yeah. Well, and it's got to be butane.
Yeah.
You don't want just a lighter fluid cigarette lighter.
Yeah.
Because you light a cigar with that, and your first draw through it,
It's gonna be
it's going to taint it,
Yep.
and you're going to taste lighter fluid.
the rest of the cigar.
That's why butane burns hotter,
Yep.
burns cleaner,
Yeah.
and that's why it doesn't taint the cigar. You notice we toasted our cigars. That gets it going.
Yep.
And then you can, a lot of times a good cigar you can toast and start drawing off of. You don't even have to.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Ideally, you'd want to do it with, this is a preference, but I would rather do it with a match. Ideally,
yeah, a wooden match
Yeah.
is
A match
the
just- it's-
probably
this is
the
convenient.
best
It's-
match
So the
possible.
phosphorus is not going to have
Well, you
Well,
light
any-
it,
Well,
let
you
burn
light
off.
it, let that burn
Yeah.
until
till it's to the wood, and then
until
you.
it's to the wood,
Okay.
and then you can light your cigar.
yeah, exactly. It's just it hits different.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
different experience.
It usually takes 3 or 4 matches.
Yeah,
So
and
again,
a couple
this is
and a burnt
convenient.
thumb and index
Yeah.
finger.
Yeah.
But
Well, about there.
With a match, you're not going to toast your cigar.
No, you're just
you're
gonna
gonna
go
stick
right
up there
on
and
it.
light it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all good information for people that are watching. Again, this is our first episode. I think I threw out some ideas earlier today of what we were going to name this. I think you guys liked the Sticks and Steins.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
I
that
thought
one's
they
pretty
were all
solid.
pretty
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
I liked all your choices that you threw
We
out
should
there.
actually leave it to people if you're watching now or in the future. You watch this. Comment. Comment what you would name this. We had Sticks and Steins, Palettas and Pints,
You got your phone? I got mine.
Old Fogies and Stogies was.
Yeah.
one vote
There
for
it
that
is.
one.
And then we, of course, because it's also under the Waking Up in the Brewery umbrella, it was also suggested smoking in a brewery instead of waking up in a brewery. But
Behind the humidor.
right. So if you've got a name better than that, throw it in there, and maybe we go with that one, and maybe we get you a stick and invite you to the show.
Yeah, there you go.
There you
There's
go.
a contest. You get a free ciggy from us, and for naming the show. But
Stogies and old fogies, man. Old fogies.
Old Fogies and Stogies.
Oh, Fogies.
That's it, bro. That's the one. That's it. I'm gonna laugh about that in my sleep. That's a good one.
But yeah,
They
I mean,
have a
they're
bunch of George Burns guys that come out and goes, "You guys aren't old."
All right.
right.
There's a guy. I work at AAA. There's a guy that comes in every Thursday. He came in today to get just maps and all kinds of stuff. I think he's lonely.
That's me. Hold on.
Is
a
that
second.
you?
Yep. I don't know if they can hear it, but
And every time he comes in, he's got a stove hanging out of his mouth.
Yeah.
And he doesn't put it out. He puts it right there on the side of the brick, comes in, gets what he wants, gets the ash off him, walks back out, puts it back in his mouth, and goes to his car, which is a big old Lincoln. And he's like 90. Dude's been
Phil doesn't
smoking.
drive a Lincoln, does he?
Yeah.
I said Phil doesn't drive a Lincoln, does he?
No.
He smokes quite a few cigars a day, doesn't he?
I would if I could.
Yeah.
yeah, they
the
won't let you
thing.
do that at most jobs.
No, I would if I could.
Well, it's funny. When I was a member at Silos, I worked for a company and my office was out west.
yeah.
And Silos was was out off of between Level Road and Campbell Station, and I had the luxury. I was in sales, so I had the luxury that I could take my computer,
Work anywhere.
work anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times I'd be sitting at the office, 2 or 3 o'clock, be like, I can do this in silos.
Yeah.
Right?
Take my laptop, go hook up, continue to work, fire up a cigar.
Fire one right in your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the goal right there. For me anyway. Just to leave work the middle of the day and just go home and have a smoke, maybe an old fashioned.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And how long have you guys been smoking cigars?
Oh. Go ahead.
Do you know?
For me, about 17 years,
Yeah.
maybe.
Okay.
About 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 20 years old when I started, about 21, around there.
Yeah, I've been smoking consistently for about 2.
I'm getting started.
Yeah, I mean, I'd had some here and there, and I did the Black and Milds, and I did the Swisher Sweets, and I actually hate Black and Milds now.
Yeah,
they're,
me too.
they're terrible. But
Perish the thought.
occasionally I would hang out with him and my nephew who were smoking cigars, and then I'd have one from time to time then. But it wasn't a couple of years ago I started coming out here to the El Cigar Social and really enjoyed the camaraderie that's there, the people that hang out.
Yeah.
And then I found that, hey, there's a lot of different cigars, just kind of like the same way I got into craft beer. I had beer, I'd had a lot of beer. I was a big Guinness drinker. And then I got into craft beer. A good friend of mine, Aaron Clabo, we took him out for his birthday to Casual Pint. And they were like, here, you need to have this beer. And I was like, oh, that's pretty good. And then eventually I went and worked for Casual Pint. And just like you guys were saying with cigars, like, try something new each time.
Yeah.
So every day my shift beer was something I hadn't had. Because I'd either drink what was on the tap or I'd grab something out of the cooler, and this is my shift beer. And then I realized, first my palate changed as I would try each of those, just like it does with a cigar. Each one of those is going to change your palate a little bit more. You're going to start recognizing more notes in your beer and in your cigar as you acclimate to this new environment, this new sensation. And then I found out that I've actually got a really good palate for craft beer, so I could pull out notes and I can literally lay out a bunch of beers and go, okay, this is this style, this is this style, this is this style, blindfolded. I think that's where I'm going now with cigars, obviously. I think it's a longer process to understand cigar notes than it is beer.
Yeah, and your taste will change.
Yeah.
Well, and the more different cigars you smoke, the more you'll pick up and start to realize
This has got that.
Yep.
this has got like that, but it's also got something different.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you really start, you'll see cigar reviews and whatnot, and it kind of used to crack me up when they
say the
it's
same
like, oh, I got mulch pile, and I've got
that's what I want to
damp musty cedar. and
Who's
I've got-
been eating?
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
peat
I know what it
and-
tastes like. Yeah.
And I'm like, hell, I don't want to smoke that.
Now,
you know?
peat, I understand from Scotch.
Scotch, yes.
Mhm.
Right, you're going to pick up the peat.
Yeah.
You're going to pick up the smoky notes. But even that Angry Alice that Kayla had, I took a puff on, immediately got chocolate and vanilla. Now, and I don't know if that was just in my head because I was told you'd get chocolate and
yeah.
vanilla notes off of it, because you can tell somebody that about a beer too.
Yeah, so you'll taste this.
You're going to get
Oh,
this
yeah,
in the
yeah.
taste, and they're going, oh yeah, but you tell your mind that.
Well, and it is, and like I said, you'll start to pick up on that and know which cigars you prefer to smoke. I'm not a huge pepper guy. I love a full body cigar though.
Yeah.
I like a strong stick, but I don't like pepper and spice.
Okay.
I want it to be smooth. I retrohale to get, that's not inhaling, that's swallowing and blowing through my sinuses
Okay.
to exhale, and it often will give you different tastes
Okay.
when you do that. And I guess that's what helped me learn the different profiles, smoking. It's like, so you'll notice I've been retro inhaling this and I've smoked 1,000 of these, but I just do that because
Habit.
Well, habit plus you get more flavor that way.
Yeah.
You get more flavor.
And a different flavor.
Yeah.
Like, because you'll smoke it and exhale it normally, and then you'll retrohale, like you said.
Yeah.
And it's a completely different
Yeah.
sensation. Completely different.
To me, again, it's a fascinating thing. And also, like my daughter would have a fit knowing that I'm smoking because she has already been told cigarettes are bad, smoking is bad, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And so she hates when I go out to the cigar social. But especially if it falls on the week that I have her. But again, I'm not inhaling smoke. I'm not doing as much damage to my body.
Right.
It is a different experience than just, hey, I'm smoking a cigarette to get my nicotine fix.
You don't do it all the time.
Yeah, I rarely do it. Like I said, mostly I do it once a month at the cigar socials.
Yeah.
And I think that's completely fine. I think it's completely safe. There's a reason why it's you can be younger to smoke cigars than drink alcohol.
Yeah. Well, not anymore. Didn't they change the age of smoking to 21? Isn't it 21 now?
Did
I
they?
think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
21 now.
Oh, well.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I was going to a cigar manufacturer, went to their website.
Yeah,
Said you
gotta
had to
be
be
21.
21 to
Oh,
even
just check in.
So
Just
you
to
can
check in.
die for a country, but man,
Yeah.
you better be 21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna
That's
issue,
a whole can of worms.
We're
Yeah,
gonna-
we're not getting into that
We're
one.
gonna
but-
issue a rifle and send you across the ocean. But
Yeah.
no, do
No
not
smoke.
smoke while you're over there.
Or drinking.
Yeah, and you may not come home.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Enjoy,
you can't drink either.
enjoy that
You can't
AR-15.
smoke.
Yeah. Oh, God. It's funny.
Oh yeah. Time lapse.
I think it's a little after 6. If I'm not mistaken.
6:28.
Yeah. Oh, it's a lot after 6.
Yeah, it's 6:20.
There you go.
Yeah, there it is. So it's about time to wrap up. I
I
mean,
think it just said head
I
up.
would tell you guys, come out. It is a cigar social. It is the first Thursday, right? Or is it the last Thursday?
It's the first Thursday.
It's normally
Yeah,
the-
today is the
August
first.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's also Spider-Man Day, by the way.
Nerd.
Yeah, I am known as Knox Beer Nerd. So today is actually officially Spider-Man Day. But it is the first Thursday of every month at Ebony and Ivory. And we're hoping to get other breweries to find a day during the month. Maybe you do it on your slowest day to generate some traffic out there. But breweries, there are cigar and beer drinkers. We're everywhere. And so those of you that were going to the Elst one, come over to this one. It's still on a Thursday. It's just the first Thursday instead of the third Thursday. And smoke cigars. And like I said, they've got them available in there to buy with some great beers as well. And then you get to hang out with us and smoke cigars and drink beer.
Want to hear something else ironic I just thought about?
Sure.
Today is also Lung Cancer Awareness Day.
We're
not inhaling.
We're
No,
not
we're not.
inhaling,
No,
so
we're not.
we're actually being very
We
aware
are being
of,
aware of lung cancer awareness by keeping our lungs safe from cigar smoke, except
Yes.
for secondhand.
The wind's blowing.
Right. I just thought that was funny. I thought about that today because I'm a lung cancer survivor. My wife said, "Yes, I am," and it's ironic as well. My wife says, "Happy Lung Cancer Awareness Day, honey," and I went, "Oh well, after work, I'm gonna
Heading
go
out to
smoke
the
a
cigar
couple of
social.
cigars. I'm gonna go celebrate. I'm gonna celebrate."
I can just see the look on her face.
Oh, Rebecca loved that.
Eyes
You know Rebecca
rolled
loved
all
that.
the way back
Oh,
in her
man,
head.
You could hear them.
All right, guys, we appreciate you watching. Tell your friends, like, share, follow. We've got a lot more content that Waking Up Brewery is going to be bringing towards you. Again, I think we're starting up the Gentleman's Gathering podcast. It will probably also be on YouTube instead of Facebook, just because I like YouTube better and it's easier to monetize and we don't have to deal with a lot of stuff. But please like, share, follow. I will post notifications of when we're doing the recordings for each of these shows. I think this one's our once a month, right, guys?
Yeah.
Unless we ramp it up
Yeah.
after that. Again, hopefully we'll get some other breweries that are also doing this to where we can go to multiple ones. We can even do this as a weekly thing. But as of right now, it's our once a month until we find other cigar socials to get to. And we always encourage you to support local. It's a little harder to do with cigars to support local, but you can absolutely support the breweries. You can support the food service industries. We've got local family out here providing food at E&I right now. So come out, smoke some cigars, get some food, drink some beer,
Smells really good.
and say hey. Outside of that, anything you guys got to say?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for
Appreciate
having
it.
me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, good to meet you.
All right, well then that's it. Well, I'm gonna turn that camera off.
That'll work.
We had one watcher. It must have been me or your wife.
It was probably you and my wife.